Hey guys, Mage here again. I figured I would do I'll try to do like a rant a day, at least during the weekdays. Mainly because, why not? I don't have a job, my husband makes the money, and I'm here by myself most of the day, so might as well do something to keep myself from going completely crazy and shaving the cats or something. At least until I have a kid. Yeah. On my previous rant, I mentioned I didn't like Pixar because they're a bit formulaic. What I mean by this is that, you remember the original Toy Story? We've all seen it. Woody is the head of the toys, and a new toy comes in, Buzz Lightyear. Buzz thinks he's not a toy. They have hijinks, and then Buzz realizes, oh crap, I am a toy. I'm being very, very, very abridged here. But it does point out my, little formula for most, not all, most of, Pixar's movies. I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen enough that I think it's there. And I'm not including the shorts in this. The shorts are actually very good, and I do like them. And I haven't seen Up, and Up already doesn't look like it fits into that, and I really want to see Up, so it's not like I'm a hardcore Pixar hater. Grrr. I just don't really go crazy for Pixar like a lot of my friends do, and a lot of people do. And I don't think they're outright crap either. I'm not saying it's bad they have a formula, I'm just saying they have a formula, and I can predict the end to most stories. The story always starts out with either one misfit character who thinks they're something they're not, or was something great and got demoted, or it starts out with the same character. There's always a misfit character with an unusual quality, or thinks they have an unusual quality, and there's always the same character that's trying to let them know that maybe they're not so right in the head, so to speak, and they go on an adventure. Woody would be the example of the sane character, he's the prototype one, and Buzz, of course, is the example of the misfit character, the one who is a little out of their head somehow. With Bolt, it was Bolt and the cat. Bolt was the Buzz Lightyear, the cat, I don't remember the name. I have a personal vendetta against Bolt, so you're lucky I know the main character's name. And I'm not explaining the personal vendetta because it's so freaking petty that I feel bad about it. The cat is the same character. Forgive me for going off track. Cars, Steve McQueen is the one who got demoted. He's more of the mystic character, and technically Mater's the same character, although they do switch it up a little bit, and that Mater's a little less seen in the head than McQueen. Although I do have a soft spot for Mater because I actually will admit I do like Larry the Cable Guy a little bit. I do find him funny. Probably not for the same reasons as other fans his. I just like the redneck thing. I'll explain that another time. But yeah. And again, forgive me for the umming and the eyeing. I'm still getting my YouTube legs, like I said in the previous video in the little description. But basically, and the most extreme version of this was, what was the name of that? The Incredibles. I was trying to remember the name of that movie, and it totally slipped my mind. I've seen that movie, which kind of clinched it in my head for that. The whole formula. It's a whole family, and they all tend to switch between being the misfit and, they're a hybrid of both in one big family. The males tend to lean more toward the misfit side, and the females tend to lean more toward the sane side, and, there's that. And then there's not always a villain. I will point this out right now. There's not always a villain. If there is, they are a pretty nasty antagonist for that situation. I'm not 100% sure on Cars, because I haven't really seen it. I'd have to ask my nephew, of all people, but you had Syndrome in The Incredibles. He was the villain, and he was actually killing. I will give Pixar credit for the gutsiness of killing rather than capturing superheroes. He was actually killing them. So I will never say Pixar doesn't have balls. Or with Sid in Toy Story, the one who was mutilating the toys, even though the toys were still nice. He just fucked them up horribly. Though actually I would have wanted some of those as a kid, but then again I was a very twisted child sometimes. Yeah, you're not talking to a normal person, just a fair warning. And there is the fact that I think WALL-E kind of falls into this. It had, but I'm not 100% sure. I think it did break the formula a little bit with the characters, because I'm not 100% sure which one is actually the misfit and which one is actually the sane one. I think WALL-E's more the misfit. But it had the computer Otto as the main antagonist. Again, it was a very dangerous antagonist. So they don't, and I'm not 100% sure on both. It's been a little while since I've seen it. I was so pissed off at it for a stupid petty reason that I didn't even really pay attention. I kind of just sat there sulking. Yeah, how mature. But yeah, I do have those quirks. But this was how the formula worked out. Is there's always there's not always, but usually a dangerous antagonist. And there's always some misfit character. There's always a sane character, a voice of reason. But there's always some weird, quirky characters they meet that mentally lean more toward the misfit character, but are as effective as the sane character in getting you through the situation. I mean, the misfit character will get you into a lot of trouble because they do stupid shit, like Bolt thinks he has the sonic bark, or Buzz Lightyear thinks he has the laser on his wrist and he doesn't, and no, you're gonna get yourself killed, stupid, is pretty much what the sane character's saying. Like the iconic Woody going, "You are a toy!" Like, get it through your skull is pretty much the situation. And when the misfit character figures out there's something wrong, that he's not what he thinks he is, they usually go through a switch where they usually, I think Finding Nemo breaks that a little bit, but Finding Nemo is one of the few that don't really follow the formula as much. It still does in some ways, just so you know. But when the misfit character does figure out that they're not quite what they thought they were, or they figure out that they are a misfit in some way, shape, or form, or there's something wrong, they will kind of go into a blue screen of death. And when that happens, that's when the sane character gains a bit of sympathy for them. You know, first they're like, oh god, this person's out of their fucking mind. But then they realize, wait a minute, this was their identity and I just broke it. In the more extreme cases, like Toy Story was where it broke. And it's usually not the same character that points it out and gets it through their head. It's some outside source. But in the end, they make it... it's not always like a super happy ending. It's usually more of a... this is the best situation for them, and they end up happy in that. Again, it's been a while since I've seen Pixar, and I really don't think Up is going to fall into that category. I do want to see it. A lot of the sequels do not fall into that category. Neither one of the Toy Story sequels fall into it. I mean, except for the scary villain, but you kind of do need the antagonist for the simple fact of an antagonist does help move the story. Also, and even if there's no antagonist, you know, you need something to kind of meet. Like, I'm pretty sure Cars is a follow-up because, I mean, it's like Meter as a Spy. I mean, yeah, I think they broke it with that one. Sounds kind of insane. Larry the Cable Guy, secret agent. Like, that doesn't sound like it even works. Also, I'll give Cars credit for having George Carlin in it as a hippie van. That's just freaking awesome. And George Carlin was freaking awesome, at least in my opinion. Again, the opinions do not have to reflect your own, and I will never say, you know, you have to like something, or you have to agree with me. I am the queen of the YouTubes. If I ever do that, just find me and shoot me, okay? I've lost my mind, and I need to be put down. And that's it. Also, I do record, like, a lot of these at once on the same day, and then I just make the video one a day, or at least I'm going to try and do that. So I may not get to any of your comments and responses right off the bat with each one, and I might not be able to improve right off the bat, but please be patient with me, and I will talk to you kind folks later. Have a good day and enjoy whatever. Bye.